Commodore Coach of the Minnesota Lycanrocs, and I'm coming at you with BBL Showdown Minors. I'm not sure what season it is, but we are joining back into BBL, into the Minors League, and I am thoroughly excited. This is just going to be the draft breakdown. I'm going to go through my team, try to explain my thought process while drafting, and how I think everything flowed together pretty well. I've got some decent speed tier coverage, and everything should go pretty well, I hope, this league. But we'll just kick it right off with the first pick. So let me double check where I was in draft. I believe, so I was right in the middle. I had 8th pick. Okay. So I'm sitting there 8th pick hoping, because BBL rules, once one Arceus form is drafted, no of the other ones can be drafted. So I'm sitting there in 8th pick, hoping and praying for an Arceus to make it to me. Hoping and praying for Arceus to just make it to me at all. And I didn't want an Arceus that could be poisoned at all, that could be toxic stalled, because I don't want to have to run refresh on Arceus during certain weeks. And Arceus Steel was banned. So I decided to go with Arceus Poison. Arceus Poison, Poison, not one of the greatest typings ever. It's weak to ground, it's weak to psychic. However, Arceus gets enough coverage to where it doesn't really need to rely on stab. And even if it does, it's a really good fairy type switch in, and can just hit them with a judgment. It can come in on grass types, come in on those fairy types, which are not very good against my team overall. Fairy types aren't. But just kind of making it to where fairy types can't come, so that way my next pick can come in and just clean up shop, is incredible. Arceus itself can set up, it has E-Speed, it can run physical sets, it can do a whole bunch of stuff. Base 120s across the board, 372 speed at max. This thing can hit like a truck, this thing can outspeed everything, this thing can take hits like nobody's business. I'm super excited to use Arceus during this league. Up next is going to be Mega Latios. So like I said, my team is kind of shaping up. Aaron, the commissioner of the league, Aaron 2for20, he messaged me after my first few picks and he sent a message and was like, I hate that I can't toxic your team. So yes, you can toxic stall Mega Latios, however it also does get refresh itself. So along with that, I have an Arceus Poison that can't be toxic spike stalled, and it can get rid of toxic spikes. I have a Mega Latios that has refresh and levitate, so it can't get hit with toxic spikes. Not only that, but Mega Latios can set up Calm Minds, can set up Cosmic Power, hit you up with the stored power. It's really bulky, it can hit like a truck. It has Recover and Roost, so I can choose which one I want depending on the situation. It's got a lot of good coverage. It's got Bolt Beam coverage. I can drop Dracos, I can hit with Psychics. I can't use any of the new moves it's going to be getting. It was revealed a while ago that it does get Mystical Fire coming up in Sword and Shield, and I'm not going to be able to use Mystical Fire. So that does kind of suck. Overall, I am really excited to use Mega Latios, because it's just kind of a beast, and it can kind of help check some Ubers that other things couldn't. To kind of round out, kind of continue my Dragon Fairy Steel Core, because Mega Latios is my dragon. I sniped someone, I think, right before they were about to take this. I was the turn right before them, and they were just about to take this, and I was able to grab it right before them. A Pokemon that isn't necessarily an Uber, but is always using the Uber tier to not only take hits from certain Ubers, but to set up hazards, to just be overall annoying. The Grass Steel type, the really bulky boy known as Ferrothorn. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this. Right now, 3 Pokemon that have a really hard time staying poisoned. Poison type Arceus Poison, Mega Latios with Refresh, and a Steel type in Ferrothorn. So far, the only thing that can really beat my team is Subtoxic Salazzle, and even then, Mega Latios can just kind of break through that with the right investment. And then Ferrothorn just comes in, sets up rocks, sets up spikes, can come in, hit up Gyro Balls, Leech Seed, Protect, Stall. It can just do a whole bunch. It helps kind of take hits from other Ubers. It helps me get my hazards up pretty free, no matter what the situation is. And I do have other hazard setters later on. However, I just can't wait to use these 3 so far. So far I have 3 really bulky Pokemon that really never die to anything except for really strong, super effective hits. So like Arceus Poison will really only die to like Choice Banded Earthquake. Mega Latios will really only die to like Choice Banded Outrage, when one hit at least. or boosted outrages, stuff like that. Ferrothorn really only die to fire type moves, because I'm not going to keep it in against a fighting type, and I'm not going to keep it in against a fire type, of course. However, to round out my Dragon Fairy Steel Core, I was like, okay, I have a really, really beefy physical defense mon. Let's round it out with a really, really beefy special defense mon in Florges. And you can already see that these four right here could come every week and I could win. Just these four alone can handle most things in the Ubers tier, can handle most things in any other tier. But the rest of my draft you'll see will round out and will do pretty well all combined. And I'm really excited to use Florges. You know, the aromatherapy, wish passing, it can come in and it can set up Calm Minds itself. It's got Synthesis for reliable healing for itself. Firing off Moonblasts, firing off, I believe it gets the Giga Drain. It gets a lot of cool stuff. And it's mainly going to be used as a Cleric. And it's mainly going to be used as a Spadef Wall. There are going to be the occasions where I don't. It also does get Defog, so having another Defogger. So right now, 3 of my Pokemon have Defog. In Arceus Poison, Mega Latios, and Florges. So hazards really won't be too big of an issue for my team. My next pick, I decided to start rounding off my Grass Water Fire Water Grass core. So I have my Grass type and my Steel type in Ferrothorn, but my Water type, I decided, I kind of want a Spinner. And this Pokemon got a really neat tool this generation, and it was allowed when I drafted it, so I am going to be able to use it. But this Pokemon this generation gets Shell Smash, and while yes, it's not the fastest and not the strongest, having the ability to come in and set up a Shell Smash to get to +2 and then to hit kind of like a truck in certain situations, but also has good Rapid Spin, has good utility with Toxic, to hit with Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, or Sphere, I decided to go with Blastoise. Another really bulky Pokemon, can take a lot of hits, and with the Wish support, Florges passing wishes to it when need be, Blastoise can come in, spin away hazards, or hit with like some really nasty moves, set up a Shell Smash. It can do a whole bunch of support stuff alongside my Ferrothorn and my Florges. Take a lot more hits and just kind of keep coming in and dealing out the damage I need it to. This thing, I believe, can take a +4 high jump kick if it's from Mega Blaziken. If it is max HP and max defense, which is bananas. So, looking at my team, I realized, I kind of have a lot of bulk, but not a lot of just raw offensive power. So my next 2 picks are going to kind of patch that up. So my next pick, really raw, just physical attacking power. I decided to go with Darmanitan. I can legitimately, depending on the matchup, send this thing in and just click Choice Banded Flare Blitz and just take names. Or send this thing in and click Choice Banded Earthquake and just take names. Or send this thing in with a Choice Scarf and click U-turn and get momentum. I can't wait to use Darmanitan in this just because of that Flare Blitz power, because a lot of these Ubers are going to be fairly bulky. They can take a lot more hits than other things would. So sending in just a good nuke to just kind of dent something or to even take something out with one hit would be really, really nice. Stone Edge, Superpower, this thing gets pretty much everything you'd ever need on it. I believe it also gets Thunder Punch in case I want to run that. To complement Darmanitan, as I said, Choice Scarf U-turn is going to be really nice. Excuse me. Pairing that along with a nice Volt Switcher, I decided to go with one of the fastest Electric-type Pokemon in the game, known as Jolteon. With Volt Absorb, this thing does give me an Electric immunity. Pairing that with Darmanitan, I have a really decent Volt Turn core. Slapping a Choice Specs on this thing allows it to be a decent special wall breaker, or special just hitter in general. I believe it has 115 special attack. So this thing can come in with a Choice Specs and hit pretty hard. It's mainly for the Volt Switch support, but Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, I believe I can still use Hidden Power Ice, Signal Beam, the whole 9 yards. I can use Hyper Voice if I really just need something to hit something. Overall, I do like Jolteon as a Pokemon, and looking at my team so far, I have the bulkiness to take hits, the speed and the offense to hit really hard. So, my next pick. Those of you who have been with my channel for a long time know that I am a fan of a certain donkey. And know that I can do some really funky stuff with this donkey. I did decide, I might as well go ahead and draft Mudbray yet again. Why I like to harm myself this way in these mental and physical strenuous situations by sending in a Mudbray to take a Choice Banded Outrage from a Zekrom and Revenge Kill it, or to send this thing in and completely 1v1 a Mega Metagross. why I like to rely on a Little Cup Mon to handle these situations is beyond my own understanding. But once you start a meme, you gotta stick with it, because it works. Just having this thing on the team with base 100 attack, it basically forces my opponents to prep for something they know I'm crazy enough to bring. And that's why I draft it, because they know I'm crazy enough to bring it, so it forces them to waste prep on a 1-point Mon. Which is kind of bananas. But there could be the team that like can completely just be destroyed by Mudbray, like their Uber could just be completely walled by it, and they'll over prep for it, and then I just won't bring it, and it will just be a good time. So I'm sitting there at the end. I have like 23 points left, so I can either just make 2 picks and be done, make 3 picks and be done, or make 4 picks and round out the draft, because we can have to get 10 to 12 Pokemon. And I'm sitting there with 23 points, and I look in the higher tiers, and I realize, you know, there's a Pokemon there that's used in Ubers quite a bit, and I would really like to have that on my team. It fills in some holes. I believe I can still use Pursuit. It's a good stealth rocker. It can come in and set up the sand, and overall, it's just a good Pokemon to use in Ubers because it hard counters some of them. I did decide to go with Tyranitar this late in the draft, so that did eat up quite a chunk of the points that I had left. However, it does really complement my team. Pairs really well with Ferrothorn, because Ferrothorn doesn't take that sand damage. Pairs decently well with Mudbray, because Mudbray doesn't take that sand damage. However, Mudbray doesn't really get any boons from having sand up. But it's better than taking damage over time. And then being able to have another stealth rocker other than Ferro and other than Mudbray is very helpful. Being able to come in and trap certain ghost types with Pursuit, and being able to even come in on like a weakened Giratina that's either forced to stay in and take a crunch, or maybe to try to play around Pursuit trapping, is going to be really clutch. This thing, with the right set, can just basically come in on Ho-Oh and just have fun. So I'm really excited to use Tyranitar, and as you can see, my team's kind of shaping out. I have 8 points left now. So I'm like, I can either just buy an 8-pointer, or I can buy a couple other Mons and see what I can do with it. So I'm like, well, I have the sand, so let's buy a Sand Abuser. And I did decide to go with Stoutland. This thing has 284 speed. With max speed, you double that. That gets up to about 568, I believe. That sounds about right. So this thing can outspeed most Scarfers in the Ubers tier. And then just hit them up with a Choice Banded Return. Hit them up with like even a Choice Banded Double Edge would be really cool. Or come in and then, oh, it's versus a Rayquaza, but now I outspeed this Rayquaza because of the sand, and just hit him with an Ice Fang and take him out. Or it can come in against, say, a little bit weakened Kyogre and hit him with a Thunder Fang. And I'm excited to use Stoutland. I don't expect it. I expect it to do enough, but I don't expect it to do much because it is so weak compared to certain Ubers. But in the right situation, getting Stoutland and having that extra speed will be incredible. So I was sitting there with 2 points in the end, and I'm like, you know, this thing will really have no use for my team other than, you know, an extra Defogger and Bird Spam. I did decide to go with Noctowl. I don't expect this to do much. I'll probably barely bring it unless the matchup calls for it. Having Bird Spam is always nice. I believe this thing gets Air Slash. It has a really good special attack stat for the points. Sub-Calm Mind could be really fun if it gets that. I haven't really looked at it too much. This thing should be Psychic Flying, but it's not. If it was Psychic Flying, it'd be so much better. But I can't wait to use this team to take on everybody else's team. A couple other people have uploaded draft analyses already. If you do see them, be sure to check those people out. And I will see you all next week, probably on Tuesday as well. I think Tuesday will be my upload day, or Monday I think is the upload day for this. According to Aaron, uploaded it technically yesterday. Today for me, but yesterday for you guys. Aaron uploaded his. Actually, I might get this out tonight. This is going to be out Monday. I think Monday is going to be my upload day for this. It's going to be out late, but I'm going to get this out tonight. If you all are excited for your Minnesota Lycanrocs, be sure to hit that like down below and subscribe if you are new, because I am trying to get back into this whole YouTube thing, and I really do enjoy everything about YouTube. I have the setup that I like again, and everything's just super fun. I can't wait. Like, I might be in a dorm. I might have like this really like weird rigged up setup, but I can't wait to start bringing you guys some of the best content I have ever made on this channel. I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care.